Well, Vince, you brought up a guy earlier, Jim Cornette, and I know you're going to be asked about this probably forever with the drama that is afoot, with that situation. But I recently had Sean Oliver on the show, and he had some really good things to say about working with you and about working with Jim. And one thing he actually said was that you and Cornette share more similarities than you do differences. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, bro, first of all, you got to understand something. I don't have a problem with Jim Cornette.
Mhm.
He has the problem. I have publicly stated a billion times, bro, whenever you want to have an open debate, a public debate, a conversation, I even offered, bro, let's do a pay-per-view.
Mhm.
Let's donate every single penny we make to the Cauliflower Alley. Absolutely not. He will die, bro, before he has a face-to-face conversation with me.
Yeah.
So that really comes down to two things. It comes down to number one, what are you afraid of? I'm certainly not afraid to have a conversation with you. I've
Mhm.
got absolutely nothing to hide. I know the facts, bro. And the facts are, first of all, Jim hates New Yorkers. Jim hates people from the East Coast. That's number one. I don't care who you are. He hates New Yorkers, number one. Number two, both Vince McMahon and Dixie Carter, both of them at two different times chose me over Jim Cornette. And rather than Jim Cornette look himself in the mirror and say, man, why did they choose Russo and not me? Rather than him do that, oh, it was my fault.
Mhm.
It was my fault that they chose me. So the reality of the situation is, bro, I will have a conversation with him any place, anytime. Plus, the fact you got to understand, Jonah, a lot of these people, okay, I'm talking about the Eric Bischoffs, I'm talking about the Jim Cornettes, I'm talking about like, Bully Ray to some extent, and all these people. Bro, these ex wrestlers or people that were in the business that have podcasts, bro, they're still playing the gimmick.
Mhm.
They're still playing their gimmick. They spent so much time in the wrestling bubble, bro. They don't know where their gimmick ends and the real person is. Those lines are so, blurred.
Yeah.
So Jim Cornette on his podcast is playing Jim Cornette. And part of Jim Cornette's shtick is his absolute hatred towards Vince Russo. That's part of his act, bro. It's like, take a comedian, their stand-up routine. It is part of his act. Bro, when I left wrestling, when I stopped being a character on TV, I was no longer that character, bro. When
Yeah.
when I put the microphone down, I wasn't that character anymore. I'm Vince Russo, bro. I know who I am. I know I'm a 63-year-old, married for 40 years. I have grandchildren. I got a bulldog named Penelope. I know who I am, bro. I don't play a character. These people that are so entrenched in professional, I mean, Ric Flair's the perfect example.
Right.
Hulk Hogan's another perfect example. Bro, they are still in character to some extent. So if Jim Cornette, the character Jim Cornette, hated Vince Russo in 1995, then I'm going to hate Vince Russo in 2025.
No, I mean, well said, definitely. And I feel like anyone can kind of see with certain personalities in wrestling for sure what you just said. Before all of the drama, one-sided, albeit started between you and Jim, are there any at all good memories that you share with him?
Oh my God, bro. I always say, bro, first of all, I got no problem. Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff hate me.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's the difference, bro. I don't hate them, number one. And number two, I've got no problem putting them over.
Mhm.
And here's what I say about both of them. Bro, of all the people I ever met and I ever worked with in the wrestling business, without a shadow of a doubt, Jim Cornette and Dutch Mantel had the two quickest minds of
Mhm.
anyone I ever met in the business. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant minds. Jim Cornette's problem was, bro, he just didn't want to adjust with the times.
Mhm.
And because he didn't want to adjust with the times, that he fell out of favor
Yeah.
because he was very, very stubborn and he wanted to do things a certain way and wouldn't get off of it. That's what hurt Jim Cornette in the wrestling business. The guy has a freaking brilliant mind. When it comes to Eric, bro, from a business standpoint, this guy's brilliant. Runs circles around me from a business point of view, but he's not creative, bro. He can't write a television show. He can't create characters or write storylines. He can't do that. But from a business point of view, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant mind. And I've been saying that about the both of them since the first day I ever met either one of them.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interviews.